Spring is sprung in Greenville, South Carolina. The sky is clear, the sun is shining, and I'm out here today to enjoy it all right by the train tracks. Also enjoying the warm temperatures is this Norfolk Southern Intermodal. I'm afraid I can't tell you its train number or destination. I'm still trying to figure out which intermodal is which. But one thing I can tell you is that this train is roaring northbound with a ferocity only seen on the mighty Norfolk Southern. You know, it was about this very same time last spring that I happened upon my very first train here in Greenville, right up the tracks at Waddell Road Crossing. You know, it's fascinating to see just how significant places once unknown to you have since become. I come to Arcadia Drive Crossing almost each and every day to enjoy a train or two. Just 1 year ago, this beloved location wasn't even a sparkle in my mind's eye. You know, another thing I wouldn't have known 1 year ago is just how treacherous even modern railroads can be. Last June, there was a major derailment over in Liberty, South Carolina, sending an intermodal train everywhere. And with the 1 year anniversary nearly upon us, the only remnants of this accident you'll find can be located at Greenville Yard. Forlornly stacked upon a cut of flat cars, these 53-foot intermodal well cars are all that's left of the big derailment. These cars will probably be hooked on the back of 153 or 154, the daily manifest trains to Greenville. They will then be sent to the nearest maintenance facility to hopefully be revived and put back into service. Speaking of service, this conductor is all done for the day. He just hopped off that northbound intermodal. A well-deserved rest awaits our newfound conductor friend, and some much-needed maintenance awaits these here well cars. And what awaits me? Well, I'm afraid it's school. I have to head back for my class. So, with nothing else to be said, I bid Greenville Station a fond farewell. It is the hallmark of a southern spring day, a ferocious thunderstorm ripping through town. The bell tower's unique choice of musical accompaniment is upstaged only by the thunder emanating from the ever-darkening sky. Soon, sheets of rain begin to assault campus as I and many others are forced to seek immediate shelter. When the storm rolls over, we see a world drastically different than the one we saw this morning. The rain had cooled temperatures a near 15 degrees, and with cloudy skies blocking the sun, I figured it was the perfect opportunity to venture out and watch a train in the cool of the springtime evening. Welcome back to the formidable Wilbur Curve, where this nighttime 154 northbound manifest is picking its way slowly across the line, bound for Greenville Yard. I am confident in saying that this is the loudest place on the Greenville district. The combination of a sharp curve and 55-mile-per-hour track speed limitations means that cars going around Wilbur are really put through their paces. Manifest trains number 153 and 154 are massive. Therefore, they almost always have DPU power. So, as the middle of the train came crawling along, I got myself ready. But wait, what is that? Could it be? Oh my goodness, it's a heritage unit! I'm stunned, speechless. The storm has washed in the Lackawanna Heritage Unit. A chase has to ensue. So I throw myself in the flow rider, put the keys in the ignition, put the pedal to the metal, and off I am. Lucky for me, despite that 55-mile-per-hour track speed limit, 154 is crawling along, giving me plenty of time to catch up to this fabulous heritage unit. Finding a parking spot in a beauty salon, I jump out of my car and set up my shot. Here comes Lackawanna. Paying homage to the late Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Railroad, this, in my opinion, is one of NS's most industrious-looking heritage units. Continuing the chase, I easily surpassed the unit at the edge of downtown Easley before proceeding to the next available crossing. That crossing turned out to be the one on Dennis Drive. I don't visit this crossing very much, but there's nothing wrong with it. I even saw a Union Pacific here once. But all that aside, it's time to return to my efforts in capturing the Lackawanna Heritage Unit. 154 is moving at a snail's pace now, almost certainly due to a restricting aspect at the Hayward signals. This was fine by me. It gave me ample amounts of time to photograph, video, and even maybe pose for a picture in front of the Heritage Unit. All I had to do now was wait. And it looks like that wait's going to be a little longer than I thought it would be. The train is coming to a complete stop now. It must have red signals at Hayward. Dennis Drive is a railfan crossing of convenience. It is in between the Hayward signals and downtown Easley. If you're chasing a train, it's a great place to stop and intercept swiftly paced trains of interest. And one such train of interest was just rearing its head. Atlanta-bound 237, a mixed intermodal and general freight shuttle, was the elusive train which put a swift halt to our northbound, heritage-laden manifest 154. The passing of this train meant it was time for me to move. The single track in the Greenville would soon be empty, and 154 would be clear to go, something I didn't want to miss. At Allen Street, right by the Hayward signals, we find the head end of Manifest northbound 154. Pulled by the much-beloved SD70 ACE, this is one of the mightiest looking trains to cross through the Greenville district. Just listen to it. It's hissing like a 100-ton bull, ready to charge. The final say is given to the Hayward signals, which show our train a limited clear. So with brakes released, throttle notched, and headlights on, train 154 is ready to make its way towards Greenville Yard. SD70 ACE, or ACEs as they're known, are beloved units for many reasons, principally for possessing the loudest horn on the Norfolk Southern. NS-154 is giving it its all as the Hayward signal is knocked down from a limited clear to a restricting aspect. It takes 2 big engines to get a train of this length up to speed. But despite each unit producing roughly 4,300 horses of power respectively, it's still going to take a while to get rolling. The converging of this 2-track main into single-track territory is one of many challenges these intrepid engineers will have to face as they make their southerly approach into the Greenville yard. Fortunately for the crew, the moment their locomotives pass over that switch, they are cleared back up to the 55-mile-per-hour track speed limitations allowed on this single-track portion of the Greenville district. Let us also not forget the important role distributed power units play in the functioning of these large manifest and intermodal trains. They provide an extra source of power mid-train to relieve tension between long cuts of cars and help trains over steep and harsh grades. Railroads could have certainly used distributed power units back in the 1800s when the mighty Lackawanna Railroad ruled supreme over the tracks of Pennsylvania. And even though the Lackawanna is a fallen flag, its legacy continues to live on in the form of this proud heritage unit. When I grew up in Boston, I never quite understood the appeal of heritage units. But now as an adult living in Norfolk Southern-dominated Upstate, South Carolina, I am all in on what I believe to be the greatest scavenger hunt on Earth. In fact, I would go as far as to say that manifest trains as a whole are a regular Where's Waldo of railway equipment. I mean, look at all the different shapes, sizes, colors, and textures of these rail cars. Or these here, ominous black hopper cars. Who knows what they could be carrying? Point being, you never quite know what you may see riding along on a manifest train. From boxcars to hopper cars, tank cars too, there is no more tantalizing visual entertainment than watching a large freight train roll on by. And with the conclusion of my little manifesto, this will end our train watching day here in the Greenville district. Sun or storm, spring has sprung, and I wish everyone a warm and joyful start to the season.